Next, we're going to go straight into those bridges that we just crossed, okay? So let's review. So in general, if we're speaking about masculine voices and feminine voices, we're going to have 2 bridges in each voice, and they tend to be inverse. So coming from the bottom, in general, if you're a baritone or a tenor, you're going to feel like your first bridge occurs at E, F, F sharp. That's an area where we feel tension pick up and then release as we cross through. If you have classical background, that's going to be called the passaggio, the primo passaggio. As we move one higher, we're going to get into the second bridge for masculine voices and the first bridge for feminine voices, and that's A, B flat B. So a lot of you may find that that's where tension begins to pick up in your voice. That's another bridge area, or the second passaggio. Then if we keep going higher for feminine voices, their second bridge happens at E, F, F sharp, an octave higher, or a fifth higher from their first bridge. So E, F, F sharp, you'll feel another bridge as you transition from your middle register into your head register. You'll feel tension pick up again and then release. The times when these begin to shift is if you have a remarkable range. If you're a true alto or if you're a true bass, you would feel those bridges shift down. Those voices are very distinctive. Most people don't have them. Some people think they do because they haven't quite figured out their range yet or their technique, so they think I've got a low voice. But most of us have more of a general, common voice. When you hear a true bass or a true alto, it's remarkable because they walk in the room and everybody can tell right away. So we're going to work those areas. So let's start with E, F, F sharp. Okay, and now we're going to be ascending through the bridges. What I want you to do here are octave slides, first on NG to guide the resonance properly, and then again to develop the tone into a little bit more strength, we're going to move it to an M. So everybody feel how these filters put your voice in the correct place and set it up well for registration. If you sing on NG, the base of your tongue and the soft palate are going to connect, and the resonance is forced through the nasal passages. Say like the end of the word song or hung. Okay? So that's a really useful device because it removes weight, it closes the chords up effectively, and it guides the resonance higher. Okay? So that's going to be our first stroke. Our second stroke then is to add a little warmth to the tone, a little bit more body, and we're going to feel the vibration, the resonant sensation migrate down to the lips. Say, That's going to feel a little bit more normal, a little bit more like your normal voice, but you want to feel it ascend and move through those bridges in the exact same way that the NG set up. So both of these things, because your mouth is partially blocked, are going to guide the resonance correctly. But you want to use them for their purpose. The first one should be lighter and more strategic. The second one should be more finished and a little bit more developed, but both of them need to follow the same path. Okay, so this one sounds like this. We're going to start in the bridge, right in that vulnerability. And I'm going to sing... try to get through. If your voice breaks, if it shakes, if it flips, that's totally normal. And in fact, that's progress because it means you're getting from one register to the next. But the ideal is to practice it and make sure you build a smooth bridge, a smooth transition. Let's all try this, starting with masculine voices in their first bridge. And feminine voices you can sing, but you're going to be down in your chest voice, okay? Here we go. 2, 3, NG. With a little bounce on top. And then an M. Good. Here's an F. That's the way. Feel the NG guide it. Let the weight come off. And bounce. And then an M, a little more presence. Here's a G. Feel all the resonance on the bridge of your nose. And then feel it migrate down to the lips. Okay, there's that first bridge. Now, let's move up to the second bridge for masculine voices, A, B, flat, B. The first bridge for feminine voices. Same exercise, and let's try ascending. 1, 2, same thing, NG. And to an M. This is really good work for your bridge. Good. M. Feel the vocal cords lengthen and thin out on the way up. And then shorten and thicken on the way down. And learn to bridge your voice, NG. Good, feel the weight come off. Don't force it, don't struggle. Excellent, okay. First bridge for feminine voices, second bridge for masculine. We're gonna go to the next bridge, E, F, F sharp, an octave higher. Second bridge for feminine voices, and men, if you're showing off and you wanna sing Led Zeppelin, then this is a good stretch, okay? So let's come up a little higher, one more time, same thing. Feel that weight come off the voice, feel the chords lengthen and thin out properly. Get a breath, 1, 2, 3, NG. And then an M. NG. Good, to an M. Just allow the voice, feel where it needs to go, where it wants to go. Keep the volume even. And M. And one more to high soprano G. Good, getting a good stretch there and establishing that bridge. I get asked very often, how do I get rid of the breaks and the flips in my voice?
What's a flip?
A flip is, it's where, I guess a break is a little bit more dramatic, a little bit more awkward, maybe has a little more air, but they're really all the same word for the same thing, okay? So cracks, flips, breaks, awkward sounds. Okay, good. And really what we're hearing, guys, when we move through into one of those, is we're hearing an imbalance, okay, in the registration. Really what that means is that probably in one direction you're changing a little too late. Okay, you're trying to hang on to a register as long as possible, and then you're flipping to the other side. And that's why it's described as a bridge. Okay, so what that means is that in both directions, you actually want to start to feel like the muscles are turning and they're changing earlier. And that way you can arc across that area instead of driving one register that feels stronger and more familiar as far as possible and then suddenly trying to change. Okay? So this is why these octave slides, if you sing through the middle, can be very helpful, because you can start to allow your voice to change much sooner in both directions and start to bridge across, and it'll get worked out if you practice and you're diligent about it. Okay? So that's a little bit of the warm-up. Now we're going to get more specific and start moving into more singing. So now I need you to get back to your breath, especially if you're at home online. I want you to make sure that you're at least sitting up tall, if not standing, because you're going to need your lungs. The next scale, we're going to go into 3 passes of our long Rossini scale that sounds like this. Now we're developing what we just did. So we're going to start the first scale on NG, and you're going to move through both bridges, and you're going to move through more fluidly with a smooth stream of air, even volume. Then you're going to move it to your lips, and begin preparing the note. And then the third scale, I want you to open up, and I want you to sing. Now, a lot of people, when they open their mouth, they kind of push and they try to fix and change everything. That's not the point. The point is to feel each one guide its neighbor. I'm going, sing any of the 5 vowels, a, e, o, u, or whatever you like. But the point is to prepare it, keep the volume very even, and when you open the mouth, just try to allow the voice, don't try to push it or pull it, sing with the same technique, and hopefully the same success that you found on the filters, okay? This takes a good breath, so everybody get ready. Let's start again in the low register, so everyone's comfortable, and sing as low or as high as you comfortably can. Everybody's got a different range. Here we go, breathe for me. 1, 2, 3, NG. M, and now vowel sound. That's it, find your support. M, good, use a smooth stream of air. questions about that one? That can be really good for keeping that airflow going, expanding the lung capacity, building a little more stamina in the voice, and also feeling it develop properly so that you stop this tendency to overwork the voice, overdrive the voice. Maybe you're singing with a little too much volume. Maybe you're not singing with enough. So those 3 passes will make sure that you start to engage the breath in a new way and you find balance. Because if you're singing too much, you're going to start to feel tired and heavy and stuck. And if you're not singing enough, you're going to feel like you can't get through those 3 scales, okay? So start to have a relationship with your breath and find that balance. Remember to breathe enough for the phrase. Okay, that's what we want to keep in mind for our rule of how much air to breathe as we sing.
Interested in more voice training? Visit us at wolfstudiosnyc.com.